Girl, you better not hit that snooze button. Yeah, you. Do you want to feel gross and tired for the rest of the day? Then listen to me and wake up. Hey guys, it's Alessia. Welcome back to my channel. Your morning routine is actually the most important part of your whole day. And if you're like me and are the farthest thing from a morning person, you might single-handedly be fucking up the rest of your day, and as a result, your life. I can't lie, before my morning routines used to literally just consist of me prioritizing my own comfort. I had no care in the world. And I used to blame it on me just not being a morning person because hello, like, need to cut myself some slack here. But little did I know I was constantly setting myself up to have the worst days ahead of me. And at this point, I'm sick of it. Like lately, I've been looking back on my days and asking myself, did you really do anything today? Were you productive at all? Did you at least enjoy yourself even though you did absolutely nothing today? And no, I didn't. Because as I've been researching, I found out that my shitty ass morning routine is actually the reason I have no energy or motivation. And as a result, not being productive at all. And I don't know about you, but my toxic trait is letting how productive I am affect my mood. So lately I've been grumpy to say the least. And girl, don't think I'm about to tell you to get up at 5 a.m., drink 17 gallons of water, do a hardcore workout. So I compiled the best, but still realistic morning routine that is guaranteed to set you up to have successful days and as a result, a more fulfilling life. Like this morning routine literally changed my life ever since I started doing it. And don't expect to implement everything at once. It's just not realistic. I'm really hard on myself, so when I wasn't able to change my shitty morning routine to the perfect morning routine in the span of a day, I was so hard on myself. But don't do that, okay? Don't be like me. And at one point, you're not even gonna have to think about it or even try. It's just gonna come to you naturally. I think this might just be the shortest intro I've ever done in my life, so like, let's take a moment. Give myself a round of applause. So don't think I'm a gatekeep, let's get into it. First things first, don't hit snooze, girl. I know that snooze button looks real juicy when it goes off, but when I say don't do it, girls don't do it. I would literally never listen when someone told me don't hit snooze. I'd be like, okay. And then when it came, I'd be like, snooze. But then I discovered the science behind it. And I was like, oh, shit. Maybe I should have listened. You're actually gonna wake up even more tired and sleep deprived after that second or third alarm goes off, or like for me, seventh, compared to if that first alarm goes off. And I'm not gonna get deep into the science because I'm sure you don't give a fuck. But long story short, when you go to sleep after you've already woken up once, your brain starts what's called a sleep cycle, and those take 75 minutes to complete. So girl, those 15 minutes of extra sleep are actually making you way more tired than before because now you're 15 minutes into a 75-minute sleep cycle, and your brain is like, what? I'm not done. And if that wasn't enough for you, it's scientifically proven that if you don't get up at relatively the same time every day, it contributes to depression and anxiety. And I don't know about y'all, but I can't afford to have more of that. Also, the earlier you get up, the better, but girl, one step at a time. So a little hack to make sure you actually do it is setting an alarm on your phone the night before and then charging your phone across the room. So when you get up, you actually have to like walk across the room to turn off the alarm. And at that point, you're already up. There's no going back. And this leads into my next point. Once you grab that phone to shut off the alarm, do not go on it. Put that hoe straight back down. Before, it was literally a staple of my morning routine every single day to scroll on social media for at least an hour after waking up before I even got out of bed. But you're actually supposed to stay off your phone for an hour after waking up. An hour, which is crazy, I know. So I still break this habit sometimes because an hour, but I actually noticed that the days I don't go on my phone in the morning for at least half an hour, my days end up being so much more stress-free and productive. And if you don't believe me, I have some more science for you. Going on your phone right in the morning when you wake up gives you an instant hit of dopamine, which is basically a feel-good chemical that your brain releases. And when your brain gets hit with dopamine right when you wake up, you're literally asking your brain to be stressed and distracted for the rest of the day. Oh, the sun is hitting right now. Look at that highlight, girl. Do you know what else spikes your dopamine? Caffeine. Girl, on top of everything, this is probably the hardest thing for me to do because I am a grumpy bitch in the morning without caffeine. And I'm not even trying to sound quirky, like I am for real right now. I will go straight back to bed if I haven't had caffeine. But I literally had to force myself to stop having caffeine because it's especially important if you're an anxious person like me. Some more boring science for you. In the morning, our body produces cortisol, which is the stress hormone. And when you add coffee on top of this, your cortisol levels spike, which you're basically just begging at that point to be anxious for the rest of the day. Plus, it's actually proven that drinking coffee first thing in the morning makes you more tired as the day goes on, so actually it's just pointless in general. If you wait to drink it an hour after waking up, it actually has more of a positive effect on you. But since I'm a gremlin without caffeine, I found any way to drink it right when I first wake up. And I actually found a loophole. Green tea has just enough caffeine in it to give you that morning boost without giving you a crash later in the day like other types of caffeine do. Plus, it has so many health benefits and it reduces stress in general, so It's a win-win. Another thing that wakes you up is a cold shower. I swear to you, I'm not trying to torture you right now. I'm just giving you the facts. By a cold shower, I mean just doing your thing while it's room temperature water. Not too hot because it will dry out your skin and irritate it, and not cold the whole time because then you'll just never want to do it again. But turning your water cold for the last couple minutes of your shower not only wakes you up because you're gonna be like, oh, bitch, but it has endless benefits that I can't even cover them all. First of all, it's literally gonna hardwire your brain because it's gonna be the hardest thing that you do all day. Once you ride out those couple minutes of freezing cold water, the rest of your day is literally gonna feel like light work, because if you're forcing yourself to do that, you can force yourself to do anything else. Like, I'd be overthinking everything I have to do in a day, but once I started taking cold showers, I was like, it's really not that deep. I almost just froze off my big toe in the shower this morning. Over time, it also relieves depression and anxiety. Don't ask me how, but like ever since I found that out, I started shivering my ass off in the shower for like 20 minutes. I'm kidding. It also increases your metabolism, which honestly, I need mine to slow the fuck down because I struggle gaining weight, but that's a whole nother video. And if you watched my hair routine video, cool water also helps to reduce frizz and lock in moisture. I would argue that taking time to do self-care is the most important part of your whole morning routine or even your day, because it contributes to your self-love, which is necessary for everyone to have. Because if you can't love yourself, you won't be able to properly give or receive love, which to me is what life is all about. And self-care looks different for everybody, but a combination of physical and mental care will make you unstoppable on the inside out. And since at this point I'm fresh out the shower, skincare is necessary, and that's personally my favorite way to show myself physical care. Y'all know I'm an Amazon junkie, especially when it comes to skincare, and y'all also know that I'm quite literally addicted to facial mists. And my absolute favorite that I've found so far has been this Dalba White Truffle Spray Serum. I originally bought it months ago because all the reviews were saying how insanely glowy it was making their skin. If you watched my last video, this may look familiar, but I already bought my second bottle because I be going through this stuff like a water. And now I'm able to partner with Dalba, so I am honored. One of the reasons that originally caught my interest was because the formula has 2 layers, and it's up to you whether you want to just spray it like that for the serum to hydrate your face, or you can shake it up to get the mixed formula and apply it like that for deeper hydration and moisture, which is how I personally like it. It's not necessary, but I literally douse my whole face in this, mainly because I'm an addict, but also the second it hits my face, it gives me an instant glow, which I love, especially in the summer. I start wishing that I could bathe in it, which you actually can, because you can spray it all over your body day and night, so I basically do bathe in it. I'm in love with the smell, but I also love that it's packed with a bunch of natural ingredients like niacinamide, avocado oil, and Italian white truffle, which is the thing that appealed to me the most because I've never heard of it before. Plus I was like, you're Italian? Are we related? But after researching it, I found out that it feeds the skin with antioxidants and vitamins to deeply nourish and hydrate it, and it's just derived from Italy. We're not actually related, sadly. I don't know how, but like the mist that it gives off is unlike any other spray that I own. It's almost like the particles are so small that it feels and looks like a cloud. I honestly don't even know how to explain it. You just have to try it for yourself. So I'll put the Amazon link to shop the product down below in the description. But after the serum spray dries, I like to go in with a sunscreen because it is morning and I'm not trying to shrivel up by the time I'm 30. Thank you. Lately, my go-to has been the Numbuzen No. 1 sunscreen, which I love because it soothes and moisturizes my sensitive skin and leaves no white cast. This part is not sponsored, I promise. But I'll also put the Amazon link to this below in my storefront because all my other skincare is there too. But I saw this dermatologist talking about how less product is actually more in the morning, so I've cut down on doing my whole skincare regimen in the mornings, and I'll keep you guys updated on how my skin is doing. But after my physical care is when I move on to my mental care. I like to give myself mental care in a lot of different ways, but I also don't like packing my mornings with a bunch of stuff because then I get stressed out. So I like to do a morning meditation because it just helps to clear my mind and prepare me for the rest of the day. And don't trip, I'm not a master meditator yet, so I still do my guided meditations on YouTube. Depending on how I'm feeling, I either do one for happiness, I do one for motivation, I do one to clear anxiety. There's so many, like, just Google it. But when I can, I love meditating outside, so this leads to my next step. This is a perfect time for the sun to come out. She literally knows I'm about to talk about her because the next point is getting morning sunlight. When I learned about this, it literally shook me to my core, but getting morning sunlight is so important. It's actually one of the major contributors to getting seasonal depression because who wants to go outside in the winter in the morning? Not me, girl. Especially with these Canadian winters. No, thank you. So honestly, I'll let you know what I do in the winter because that will be a dilemma. But all I know is when I move to Europe, it's over for everybody. So girl, I don't just mean looking out the window or getting some sun from the window. You need to soak that bitch up. So at this point, I like to do a 10 to 15 minute meditation outside so I could soak up the sun and get my mental care in at the same time. About to hit you with some more science. At this point, I should become a scientist because wow, those chemistry and biology classes are really paying off. I'm kidding. I actually learned absolutely nothing. I had to figure this all out for myself. But the reason it is so important to get direct sunlight in the morning is because it helps stabilize our circadian rhythm, which is basically our physical and mental changes over a 24-hour cycle. And I have a lot of those. So because of that, our circadian rhythm does so much, from helping us reduce stress, to putting us in a good mood, to increasing energy, to stabilize our immune system, and putting us to sleep like a baby so we're rested for the next day. Have you ever had jet lag that lasted for days? Well, that's what it feels like when your circadian rhythm is out of whack. And if you want to feel like that, by all means, just stay inside. But you're gonna have no motivation, decreased memory, brain fog, increased stress, and be tired all day but then not be able to sleep at night. Okay, now at this point, my lazy ass would want to get straight back into bed. And I've always been the person that's like, why should I make my bed if no one else is gonna see it but me? Like, hello? But me not making it is exactly the reason why I want to jump back into it. Like, it looks too good with my sheets all jumbled up everywhere. I just want to like, So for the girls like me, we need to start making that bitch, okay? Not only does making your bed not make you feel the urge to jump back into it right away, but it helps you to complete that first task of the day, and it feels like an accomplishment even though it's so little, but it's gonna give you that motivation to push you to do the rest of your things that you have to do. And you get the satisfaction of already marking something off your to-do list. Even though it's really small, trust me, it works. You thought I was gonna forget to tell you to hydrate, didn't you? Who do you think I am? I swear I add this in every morning routine that I make because it's something I've been swearing by, and most people forget. Lemon water is so good for detoxing the body, and if you have acne prone skin like me, it's gonna be your best friend. It also gets your digestive system moving since it's early morning. And if you want to go to the extent of adding a little pinch of salt in your water, I highly recommend it. And honestly, this would be the time to do it because I hate that taste of like a little hint of salt in your water, so the lemon will take it away. But salt water is so good to have, especially in the morning, because it adds those electrolytes back into your body after you deprived it from hydration during your sleep. Honestly, I don't know if I feel more like my doctor right now or my high school science teacher. Depending on how fast you get hungry, you can eat breakfast at any point, but I personally don't get hungry until about an hour after waking up. But when it is time to make breakfast, I make sure it's as high in protein as possible because it helps to fuel you up until your next meal, and it helps to build muscle, which I need some in my butt. But before, I used to literally not care when people told me breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I'd be like, okay, grab a cookie, grab a croissant, grab some cereal. And to say the least, my days would be filled with my brain working against me rather than for me. Like, I would have difficulty concentrating, I would constantly be stressed, and I would constantly want to go back to sleep. And then after I started eating a more nutritious breakfast, I was like, is this what my brain is supposed to feel like? I like to pair protein with a healthy fat instead of going for sugar and carbs. I do love me some carbs though, so most of the time there is a carb in there. Lately, my absolute go-to has been scrambled eggs with an avocado toast with a protein shake. But I absolutely hate the taste of protein shakes, and I'm way too lazy to make them most days, so some days I'll just grab an Ensure instead. Sometimes I also have oats, which I also hate, but gotta do what I gotta do. I need to get thick. Okay, and last but not least, I'm actually adding this in as a bonus point because I don't do it every day, but I'm gonna try and start. One thing about me is I will not do a hardcore workout in the morning because it's just too much. But I have been trying to exercise in the mornings because it is essential for the mind in so many different ways. So I've been trying to do daily morning walks, even if it only lasts 10 minutes. I do this not only so I could get the benefits of exercising, but nature's always been something that grounds me, and it just helps to clear my mind, especially in the morning, which is amazing. But lately I've been attempting to challenge myself, and now I challenge you. On every morning walk that I go on, I pick up a stone and I bring it home with me. Right now you're probably like, what the hell are you talking about? But with each walk I take, these stones are signifying stepping stones into me becoming the best version of myself, and I just put them in a jar every walk I do. It just serves as a little reminder that slowly but surely I am making progress into stepping into the best version of myself. If you do end up trying this, let me know how it goes. Let me know if it starts motivating you or how you feel or what's going on in your head. Or DM me a picture on Instagram of your jar of stones. So yeah, it's something we could do together to step into the best versions of ourselves, because I'm not going on this journey alone. You're coming with me, girl. And that's when my morning would come to an end. Honestly, at that point, it'd kind of be seeping into the afternoon. But getting my whole routine done is very important to me. I would wake up earlier, but I would rather it seep into the afternoon, sorry. So at that point, I would just get on with my day, complete my to-do list, and then do my night routine when it comes time to, which that is coming soon, I promise. Because changing up my night routine was just as important as changing my morning routine. But it literally took me so long to get to this point and change my habits. Looking from the outside in, it may look really easy, but it's not at all. And because it looks so easy, that's why I was so hard on myself that I couldn't perfect my routine in one day. Plus, our brains make us automatically seek comfort and therefore make any excuse possible to not change our routines. We just want to stick to what we know. know. And that's something I've always struggled with, but at the same time, I've also been very self-aware, even of my bad habits. So what's funny is I would constantly do research on how to change my life and become the best version of myself, but I would never actually implement the information that I learned. So it's like, yeah, I was doing the research, but for what? Because who's using it? Not me. If anything, it was just making me even more hard on myself because I knew what I had to do, but I wasn't doing it. So deep down, I always knew that my morning routine especially was negatively impacting my life, but I never actually made any changes until I started physically noticing my life changing for the worse. And honestly, that was the turning point where I felt forced to implement everything I learned into my life. Because at that point, I would rather do anything than feel the way that I was feeling, even if it meant stepping out of my comfort zone and getting uncomfortable. There's a difference between a person that's interested in doing something and a person that's committed to doing something. Okay, wait, that was kind of woke of me. So I'm gonna leave the video on that note because that was probably the most psychological, philosophical thing I've ever said. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I really do hope it can change at least one person's life out there because it changed mine for the better. Because I can't lie, I was in a dark place before this. But no, I want to end this video on a happy note. I love you guys. And if you're not subscribed yet, I'm actually kind of offended. Do you not like me or something? And don't forget that you can come back to this video anytime you need, just for a little reminder. So don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, click the bell to get notified every time I post, share with your friends or whoever else may need it, and I love you guys so much. I will see you in the next video.